I have decided to run an experiment with root beer.
In the shops today, it's almost impossible to find a version that's actually made from real roots. The lost power of roots should be returned to what was long time ago a truly powerful drink to restore health. Don't you think so? Let's dive into how I brought that power back. Wholesome Neri. We are what we eat.
The real root beer didn't start in a lab.
This tradition grew from the wisdom of Native Americans, who had used local roots, barks, and herbs for healing for centuries. They knew the forest's secrets long before any industry existed. When the Europeans arrived, they brought their own ancient craft to the table. They took these powerful indigenous ingredients and applied their traditional fermentation techniques to them. Yes, fermentation. You heard that correctly. Root beer used to be a fermented drink. That's how those medicinal brews became the sparkling, living, and foaming tonics we now call root beer. They believed these drinks helped purify the blood and boost digestion. Then, in the late 19th century, pharmacist Charles Hires took this nature's pharmacy, bottled it up, and turned it into a massive commercial hit. But mass production eventually stripped the soul out of it. Real roots were replaced by synthetic aromas, and that vital, natural life was traded for artificial carbonation. In this experiment, I am reclaiming exactly what the industry abandoned for the sake of simplicity and profit. Historically, root beer wasn't just one drink. It was a vast collection of recipes. There were countless variations, each one a unique reflection of the local forest and the family secrets passed down through generations. I've explored these traditional blends, and for my experiment, I am choosing a recipe built on 4 specific roots. First, I'll be using dandelion root for that deep, earthy bitterness. Then comes sarsaparilla, the soul of the classic flavor. After that, I'll include licorice root for a natural, lingering sweetness. And, of course, ginger, straight from my own ginger bug to give it that living, probiotic kick. But the complexity won't stop there. I'm going to round it out with sugarcane juice concentrate for a rich body, vanilla for a smooth finish, bay leaves for herbal complexity, and lemon juice to bring it all to life with a bright spark. I'm pouring the whole bag of dandelion roots onto the baking sheet. This will be enough for several batches. These roots are a true powerhouse of wellness. They are most famous for supporting liver health and acting as a natural digestive aid, helping the body detoxify and find its balance. But first, it's vital to roast them. I place the tray in a preheated oven at 180 degrees Celsius, 350 degrees Fahrenheit, for about 5 minutes. This process transforms their raw, grassy bitterness into a deep, toasted aroma. When they started to scorch just a little, I gave them a quick stir and dropped the temperature to 140 degrees Celsius, 285 degrees Fahrenheit, for another 5 minutes to finish them off perfectly. Finally, I took them out and let them cool down completely. Letting them rest is key before they meet the water. Now, it's time to brew what I like to call my liquid forest alchemy. I have prepared here what goes to the pot: 20 grams of those beautifully scorched dandelion roots, and 50 grams of sarsaparilla, the soul of the brew. 8 grams of licorice root, and a few fragrant bay leaves. And finally, the vanilla pod. You'll notice it's already been scraped clean. I used those precious seeds earlier to make some secret, healthy chocolate. By the way, if you want to see that chocolate and everything else I'm making and brewing in my kitchen laboratory, hit that subscribe button. You don't want to miss a single drop of the healthy, delicious magic I am making here. Now I'm pouring in 1 liter of water. I'm crushing the bay leaves by hand before dropping them in. This breaks the plant cells and allows that deep herbal aroma to fully escape into the water. Bay leaves aren't just for scent, though. They are fantastic for digestion and have powerful anti-inflammatory properties. Next, in go all 3 of our roots: the roasted dandelion, the sarsaparilla, and the licorice. I'm holding back the vanilla for now. I'll add its delicate spirit later so we don't lose those fine aromatics in the intense heat. Now I cover the pot. Keeping it covered is crucial. We want all those volatile medicinal vapors to stay exactly where they belong, inside our brew. I'll wait for it to reach a boil, then I'll turn the heat down and let it simmer for 30 minutes. While the magic happens, let's talk about these roots we did not talk about yet. Sarsaparilla is packed with antioxidants and has been used for centuries to boost skin health and reduce inflammation. And licorice root? Beyond its sweetness, it's a soothing powerhouse for your digestive system. After 30 minutes, I turn off the stove and finally add the vanilla. I'll let it rest for 15 minutes, allowing its delicate aroma to infuse without being destroyed by the boil. It's the perfect time to let its natural vanillin work its magic, not only as a soul-soothing scent, but as a powerful antioxidant that helps protect our cells and calm the nervous system. Now I filter all this goodness. To make sure we get a clear liquid, I'm pouring it through a cheesecloth placed inside a sieve. Next, I add 2 more liters of cold water and 210 grams of sugarcane juice concentrate. By the way, did you know that unlike refined sugar, this concentrate retains its natural minerals like iron and magnesium? It's a whole food sweetener that feeds your body, not just your cravings. I check the temperature. It must be under 40 degrees Celsius. Why? Because now our probiotic powerhouse, the ginger bug, is stepping onto the stage. This is where our 4th root, ginger, hides. I made this bug using the same cane juice concentrate. You can find the link on how to make your own right here. Whoa, look at that carbonation. This guy is seriously gassed up. Look at that foam. That is exactly what I expect from a real, living root beer. Whoa, whoa, whoa! Oh, tries to escape! I'm pouring it in, but I'm keeping the ginger pieces behind for my next batch. I squeeze a fresh lemon and pour the juice through the sieve. We don't want any pulp crashing this party. I give it a stir, add some water to fully fill. Cover it with a cup so it can breathe, and let it sit for 24 hours. Meanwhile, I have to take care of my ginger bug. I'll refill it with water and a tablespoon of cane juice concentrate, seal it up, and tuck it back into the fridge until our next adventure. After 24 hours, it's time to bottle our creation. At this stage, the fermentation process is at its peak, as beneficial probiotics multiply and transform natural sugars into organic acids and B vitamins, turning this brew into a living tonic for your gut health. I'm leaving the bottles at room temperature for another 48 hours. Even though it's already bubbling, I've noticed that this specific ginger bug, the one I made with sugarcane juice concentrate, works at a much slower, more deliberate pace. I'm giving it this extra time to let those wild cultures properly transform the minerals into a living probiotic tonic. After that, one last day in the fridge to settle the bubbles and chill, and our masterpiece root beer is finally ready. The combination of aromas and flavors is just incredible. And when you think about the health benefits packed into every sip, I have no doubt that once you try this, you'll never go back to the store-bought version. My family and I certainly won't. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe so you don't miss our next kitchen adventures. Stay wholesome, and I'll see you in the next one.